For the origin system, what drives the balance? The ancient Tenno warriors with hidden power behind them, energy from the Orcan era that fuels them. We have seen battles that last centuries. Some of them have an unseen influence that changes the outcome. Perhaps a more peculiar case are the ones which end before they can be observed. Our knowledge about the origin system and its past is growing. For the past decade, we've seen many new technologies and beasts found once more. Blueprints for ancient warriors that fueled Tenno ranks were salvaged. While these discoveries are extraordinary, a more interesting case can be made for something out of our eyes' reach, turning the tides and pulling the strings from the other side, from beyond our current reality. I'd like to know more about the one who controls time and space. They call him Magician of Math, Limbo.
Limbo is a very unique warframe. Since his implementation, he hasn't been picked up often. Fulfilling a very niche play and not working well in squads, Limbo was looked down upon. With update 20, Octavia's Anthem, Limbo received a rework that allowed for much more fluent gameplay. In this video, I'll show you the builds that I use for Limbo in different situations, whether it's solo or group play. This is Fissuring Dimension Limbo. Since this build is based on stasis, the only way to proc arcanes is to use offensive ones. Arcane Strike will go very well inside the Rift Plane, as it increases melee attack speed on melee hits. While inside the Rift Plane, Limbo regenerates extra energy. Pairing up with natural talent and frequent power usage, you may run out at some point. This is why Zansari is a good focus school choice. Maxing out Energy Pulse will grant 50% extra energy after picking up energy orbs, branching into Energizing Dash, which will recover 5 energy per second while standing inside the sphere it creates. It also has a 30-second linger time after you leave it. This setup for energy recovery costs around 1.3 million focus and 6 days to unlock. Limbo has specific niche builds which serve a purpose for different mission objectives. The overall build that I use focuses on good power range and great efficiency with quick power cast speed, corrosive projection for aura, cunning drift in the Exilis, prime continuity and augur message with narrow-minded for power duration. Augur message instead of constitution reduces the 4 more required to 2. Overextended and stretch for power range. Transient fortitude for power strength, natural talent for fast power cast speed, and Rift Torrent augment for much higher damage inside Cataclysm. While maintaining natural power strength, which works well with Rift Torrent augment, you also get great power duration with good range, which allows for powerful crowd control and damage. Since Limbo has no armor and his survival relies on different rift planes as well as stasis usage, I use a melee weapon. Legion is one of the strongest condition overload build viable weapons in game and works very well. Prime pressure point for base damage, condition overload for more damage with status procs, primed fury for attack speed, prime reach for high range, drifting contact for status as well as combo duration. Volcanic Edge and Voltaic Strike for radiation damage, Vicious Frost for cold, which also combines into viral once you get a special Legion proc that adds toxin damage to your weapon. For solo play, Against Grineer-infested factions, Limbo is one of the most effective frames when it comes to crowd control. The good range you get from the build will allow you to lock down large rooms of enemies and secure objectives. Great power duration allows for more focus on gameplay and less on ability and duration management. Even with neutral efficiency, you will have plenty of energy for your abilities even when progressing through exterminate missions. Inside the Rift Plane, Limbo gains 2 energy per second. Combining that with Zansari's 5 energy per second sphere aura, as well as skills inside Cataclysm which grant 10 energy, you end up with great energy gain which allows you to use your powers frequently. You can dodge sortie and other environmental effects completely by staying inside the Rift Plane, which removes the nuisance from radiation and magnetic procs. This also makes Limbo one of the best frames for spy missions and completing them undetected. A lot of rooms with mandatory stray paths can be ignored as you can pass through laser doors without triggering them inside the Rift Plane, so the only challenge becomes not getting detected by the cameras. The same strategy also works in sabotage missions, where you can pass through laser doors and extract coolant without magnetic procs. The real danger that Limbo is exposed to is while exiting Cataclysm or ending it, which automatically pushes you out of the Rift Plane. It is good practice to manually end your Cataclysm with 4 and then immediately use Shift to instantly switch back into the Rift Plane. This can be done almost instantaneously, minimizing the danger of getting hit by projectiles and going down. For defending objectives, Limbo is one of the best, if not the best frames around, since you can directly control how much crowd control your Cataclysm has. This works very well in mobile defense missions against Grineer and Infested, but is harder in Corpus missions due to nullifiers and excavation. This can be solved by running a maximum duration and minimum range build, which I cover in alternatives. Rift Torrent Augment significantly boosts your damage inside Cataclysm. Although you have to recast it fairly often to refresh the damage multiplier, its low power cast cost paired with natural talent makes it easy to do. Stasis has a limited amount of projectiles it stops. If that amount is exceeded, it automatically ends. This applies to any projectiles including your Sentinel, so if you have a Sentinel with a shotgun-based weapon equipped, it's going to end stasis prematurely quite often, as it automatically fires at enemies inside a rift. When it comes to public play, Limbo can be very disruptive and it takes extreme effort to play Limbo without stasis during non-stationary missions. Since stasis pauses all projectiles in the rift, your teammates are forced to use melee weapons. This is fine in mobile defense, survival, rescue, and missions alike, but can be detrimental in missions like Exterminate, where players progress through the map very quickly. When running public missions like excavation or mobile defense along with rescue, a good idea is to run a maximum duration with minimum range build. This secures the objective from taking damage while still allowing your teammates to freely kill enemies. Corrosive projection for aura, rush in the Exilus, prime continuity, narrow-minded, constitution and augur message for power duration, vitality for base survivability, armored agility for higher sprint speed and handspring for quicker knockdown recovery. This gives over 300% power duration and your Cataclysm with stasis lasts for 92 seconds. Usually one cast of each power is enough to protect a mobile defense objective or an excavator for the entire duration. Limbo has augments for his other abilities. Haven, first ability augment that replenishes ally health after you banish them. Not worth a mod slot since the banishing target won't be taking any further damage and will be able to reposition himself to safety. Cataclysmic Continuum, fourth ability augment that extends the duration of Cataclysm with every kill inside it. Due to very high duration build options already available, this augment isn't really useful and the bonus does not scale with power duration. Limbo, a unique warframe with an exceptional mechanic to switch planes of reality. While it does not shine in terms of warframe damage, it makes up for it in defense-based objectives, locking down enemies permanently. This is Fissuring Dimension Limbo.